All right, e-commerce business owners, it's time to have a talk about tariffs. It's all in the news right now. It's all the hype. What would Trump say? Something. We're not going to get into that right now. But if you're an e-commerce business owner, you might be having some fear or some anxiety around what's going on with tariffs. So first of all, what are tariffs? Tariffs are basically a tax that is put on imported goods. So for example, if the United States is importing something from another country, they can charge a tariff on that. Now, the person who pays the tariff is going to be the people who need those imported goods, right? Like the business owners. So, and this is a very, very general way, like I'm really not doing it great justice right now. The important thing to take away is that tariffs are going to impact the cost of goods sold, and it's going to impact your profit margins. So you're either going to eat the cost or you're going to pass the cost on to the customers. Obviously, for small businesses, eating the cost is not totally an option. And so then you're sitting there and you're like, well, I have to raise prices in a time when people are already struggling. Like money is the primary objection. People have less disposable income than maybe ever, and people are afraid to buy. So how do you make sure that your business survives this? Today, we're talking about the marketing side of it, because obviously there's a whole other conversation with the supply chain and negotiations and logistics. I'm here today to talk about how your marketing can help you, not completely get you out of this, but help you make it through this. The most important thing to take away today is that the whole concept here is that we want to leverage tariffs as an opportunity for your e-commerce business. And you probably hear that and you want to click away because that sounds like conservative language, right? I think tariffs are, I have my own opinions on them, and I feel horrible for every business owner right now, which is why I'm making this video and why I'm encouraging you to try to see it as an opportunity, even though it absolutely sucks right now. And it probably will for a long time. Use this as an opportunity to bring your audience closer and turn this into what I'm going to call the tariff journey. Bring them along, show them the behind the scenes, be very transparent. And we're going to talk about a lot of different ways you can do this today. This is an opportunity to take people from like viewers or just kind of passive audience goers, listeners, whatever you want to call them, into brand evangelists, people who are going to be repeat purchasing from your brand for the rest of time. Because remember, people are expecting costs to go up. As a society, we are more informed than ever, thanks to social media, thanks to just the general media. And there's a lot of fear mongering going on with this too right now. But because of that, people are just expecting costs to go up. It's not going to be a surprise when it's more expensive for them to purchase things than it was a couple months ago, right? Like they know that this is coming. So yes, tariffs can increase your cost of goods, but that doesn't mean that your customers aren't going to be willing to pay more if they see the value. So let's talk about some ways that you can overcome these tariffs as an e-commerce business owner. Number one is to create a clear and positive narrative. So instead of just saying like our prices went up because of tariffs, dig a little bit deeper. We're sourcing from ethical suppliers to support fair labor. We've updated our product line to decrease our carbon footprint and any unnecessary shipping. We're investing in better packaging and customer service instead of paying the tariff penalties. Now, all of these, sorry if you can hear my dog drinking water, those specific examples, they might not work for your business. Like maybe you can't bring your customer service into the United States because we know that the labor here is more expensive. Maybe that's not an option for you right now. But the whole point here is that as you're crafting your narrative, and we're going to talk more about this, is you want to keep it transparent, ethical, and customer first. Customer first, okay? Okay, the second tip, use your channels to educate and engage. Like I said, we're using this as an opportunity to create community and create loyal followers, loyal purchasers, low churn rate, high retention. Tailor all of this based on your data and how we know each channel responds. So when your prices are going up, email blasts should just be focused on like the informative, straight to the point, like, hey, we made some changes, here's what it looks like, here's why, and here's how they're going to benefit you. Instagram Reel and Stories should be a behind the scenes look at the new production, the new process, what has changed in your business and kind of how those changes are driving up costs, but showing them more of like a behind the scenes, bringing some humanity to your brand. And the difference with Instagram and Reels is that needs to be high production value. You should be spending a little bit more time making those a little bit more cinematic, a little bit more, production value is the word, but just like movie quality-ish, if that makes sense. put your pretty captions on, have the animated text going, have good angles and shots and lighting, put a little bit more focus on production into reels and stories. On TikTok, break down why our prices changed in a really transparent way. And this should come from your founder or whoever is at the top of the company, or if you have like a face of the brand, it should come from the face of the brand, and have it be like a get ready with me, some type of like heart to heart combo. That's like really breaking down like how this happened, what you're doing, how you feel about it, how you know that the customers feel about it, kind of like your forward vision, how things are looking behind the scenes, how it's impacting your team. Really use TikTok to just be like raw, vulnerable, and open about what's going on. Bring the audience into that journey. All right, number 3 is to discount strategically and don't just blanket discount. Don't just like raise your prices and then put a 25% off for the whole store, or like raise your prices by X amount and then apply free shipping. Instead, discount strategically. The first way to do this is you could run limited time bundle offers to increase your average order value. So you can bundle together some of your products, have like a slight discount on it, but make sure that you're still bringing in a profit. So people are getting a little bit more bang for their buck, but you're still bringing home, money to keep the business running. Number 2, offer just free shipping. Like if you can eat the cost of shipping, if that will still make you profitable, do that, or do some loyalty points. We'll talk more about a loyalty program in a second. And then another thing that you could do is do a limited time, like we're eating the tariff, limited time only. Like have your products at the price that they were and be like, okay, for the next like week, we're gonna eat the tariff. Or, raise your prices, but then maybe the last 3 days of every month you eat the tariff. Figure out the numbers, make sure it's profitable for your business, but that's another way that you can kind of play on this and pull your audience in closer and kind of show them that you're trying and that you care about them, but you're just doing the best you can with what you've got right now. Tip number 4 is turn it into a conversation. So I've been saying this the whole time, but the tariff journey, bring your customers into this and also let them have a say. So pull your customers and ask things. I have a list here of like, would you prefer local production or lower prices? And then go with whatever they choose, and make sure before you pose these options that you've mapped out the cost to your organization so you know if you can even do one or the other. Let them vote on what products stay or go as you shift suppliers, if that's something that you have to do. And then make it a story of co-creation with your community of like, hey, what do you guys want to see? Like, let's go to the drawing board. Let's see what we can dream up and put on the store that will make my business profitable so I can keep my doors open, but also not break the bank for y'all. So that's kind of a way that you can bring them in, let them have a say. It'll boost engagement off the charts. So try that. 5, update your product pages and your ads. So it can say things like sustainably sourced, produced in the USA, made in America, sustainably sourced to avoid overseas tariffs, like kind of that transparent messaging. Update this on your key product pages and in your Google search ads, maybe in like part of your display ad. You can have a little bit of text on display ads, maybe some YouTube ads if you do that. And test value-focused messaging versus price-focused messaging. And this will give you audience data on whether they're willing to pay more for higher value, or if your audience is really just worried about price. Because if it's just worried about price, you might need to just decrease order value, average order value, but increase volume of things, if that makes sense. And finally, lean into loyalty and retention. So launch that loyalty program. You can look these up. There's so many brands that do this so wonderfully, whether it's like a digital punch card, or if you're a storefront, maybe it's a physical punch card. Maybe it's like a Sephora thing where they earn a certain amount of points based on their average order value. And then once they reach like X amount of points, they get something free or they get a pretty hefty discount. Give early access or locked in pricing to any of your repeat buyers or email subscribers. That's something you could do too. Like, hey, locked in pricing, we're eating the tariff for you for the next week. Or early access to this drop, that type of thing. Pre-order this, whatever. Or send some of your audience things to test out, try to get some of that UGC content, but instead just like send 1 or 2 things and eat the cost of a few of those. And use messaging like we're prioritizing our original customers as we navigate these changes. So the main message here, like I said, is to take this shitty moment as an opportunity to pull your audience in closer, create community, create transparency, and really be open with everybody about what's going on, how you're navigating it, and create a journey out of it. Because people love a journey. They love to be informed and included. And it's on everybody's minds right now. And like I said, they're expecting prices to go up. So if they understand more about why prices are going up and how it's impacting you as a business owner and every hoop that you're jumping through to try to make things accessible for them, they are far more likely, as long as you have a valuable product, to continue purchasing from you, if not repeat purchasing from you. So hopefully this helped some e-commerce clients, people, businesses, business owners out there who might be in a little bit of a red panic right now, given the tumultuousness, is that a word, of the American market. But Godspeed to all of us. Thank you so much for watching. If you want more of this, hit the subscribe button and comment down below any tips that you have for e-commerce owners. Let's make it a e-commerce business owners. Let's make this helpful. Let's make this valuable. Let's not gatekeep right now. Let's show up and show out. And I know that this is impacting far more businesses than just those in e-commerce. That's just the topic of today. So feel free to drop any comments down below. Okay, see you in the next one.